Okay, hey, we're going to do an episode of On the Wrist from Off the Cuff. That a really cool strap showcase for you from the brand Under the Cuff, or UTC. They were established in 2020 out of the UK, and they're a strap manufacturer with a focus on more premium takes of sporty classics at quite reasonable prices, which is nice, especially in 2024. So you get those definite premium vibes, more from the quality of their products versus just from their list prices, which I can absolutely appreciate. I learned about their brand actually by noticing their higher level of buckle finishing used on the Notice Matt Farah Canyon collab. So definitely a great place to kind of find a new brand, between two teams that I'm definitely a big fan of and have been fortunate enough to meet personally. And I just had to check these out and get an up close look and share them with you all. So Under the Cuff was nice enough to send me kind of a variety of different straps, more so than even what's laid out here for this little intro. So with all that said, let's go ahead, zoom the camera out, get these pieces in hand, and take a closer look. All right, guys, now we have a pretty cool spread for you. Of course, all paired to, not all of them paired to, but a couple of them paired to some watches from my own personal collection that you guys might recognize from the channel. You have, of course, the Murph 38. You have the Slim Turtle. You have the Airman 18, and then the Heritage COSD from Longines. And we have a couple of straps that aren't put on anything, but a couple of them are actually just variations of other colors that are here. And of course, I want to make sure that the videos don't run overly long. So we'll just try to keep it on schedule and on track here. And we'll go ahead and start with this beautiful ribbed Nato. Check this out. Paired to the Slim Turtle. Very nice with that glacier texture dial. You can see, of course, the vertical texturing going along with the vertical textures here. One of the really great things about this is it actually fixes something that Seiko did, which is this came on, which actually with an optional Seiko fabric strap that was really beautiful, beautifully textured, tied into the dial, but it was thick, and this is the Slim Turtle. And the last thing you want to do is add thickness when you have such a beautifully slim silhouette. So it's nice to be able to find something that really matches that slim silhouette here. So very cool. A little bit about this, of course, you got that beautiful fully milled hardware, guys. Check that out. Even the little fingers milled, and you do have a beautiful bevel there. So you get the two-tone finish. You get a nice sliding keeper there, nicely signed Under the Cuff. Very, very cool. And this is going to be available in black, gray, or khaki green in terms of the different colorways, in a 20 or 22 millimeter. And these go for $32. You can see the black one here, which is going to be infinitely versatile, guys. If you want to take this, put it on your field watch, explorer, adventure type watches, dive watches, this is really gonna look immaculate. So I'm really digging this. And of course, thanks to that sliding keeper, that means when you do put it on the wrist, guys, you can of course have enough to fold back, and depending on your wrist size, right, will also make it easier. Let's say if you have a larger wrist, and if that was fixed down here, then that wouldn't reach. The nice thing is, boom, then you can just tuck that under there. And my wrist isn't quite this large, but just for example, guys, you got that, tucks under, and then now you can just meet that there as well. So probably, just to give you an idea, maybe I need to make it a little bit tighter so you can get a little bit more access back there. Boom. Okay, here we go. This is better. So this would be closer to my own wrist size here. We'll tuck that in. I promise I won't demo these too much though, and because you guys all know how to put on straps if you're watching this, but if you don't, here's a nice little bonus. Boom. So now with that sliding keeper, it's going to be nicely sitting there, nicely tucked. So I really do like that about these. Now, if you're not into the that textured layering there, which I think looks great in terms of, you know, the ribbing there. Maybe you're into something more like this fine weave style, right? So this NATO is going to be really, really nice. Oh, actually, let me get a little dust off there. Okay. Longines Heritage Military COSD, beautiful color palettes here all coming together. But here's a strap that's just going to go with anything. Check this out. This is the sand colorway. It's available also in a black or a gray. Single pass layout as well. Also 290 millimeters, if I didn't mention that with the last one. So the single, single pass NATOs are going to be 190 millimeters long. And then also same floating keeper setup with one fixed, and then that beautiful hardware. Check that out. Nicely signed, nicely milled. It just carries over those extra points of detail from a watch down into the clasp hardware, which is really nice again in terms of kind of just carrying out those themes. And this looks great, guys. It has that seatbelt style with a nice tight weave that has a bit of a sheen to it. So very, very cool. Moving on. If you guys do, maybe the one piece isn't for you, maybe you look for something like this two piece with the more kind of ballistic style a fabric here. The nylon is very nice. Now you're going to be getting quick release spring bars. These go for $26. So the first one, the ribs were $32. 29 for the fine weave, 26 for the two-piece with the fixed keepers as well, which for the two-piece ones, you're going to notice that is a reoccurring theme. You're going to have fixed keepers because it's going to be more traditional in terms of the way that it's going to wrap around your wrist. And you can see it does have a bit of extra material there. So for clearance, you're going to want to be careful with these because this is a much thicker, a more robust type of nylon, but man, it works and it looks great. I love the texturing there from that kind of thicker weave pattern. This would look great on any type of field watch, and a lot of other combinations too, but I'm a really big fan of these two pieces. And then in terms of two piece, we also do have these two piece, which is the Apex two piece, which go for $28. Also quick release spring bars. These are going to be and then in terms of the two piece sizes, 75 on one end with a 125 millimeter on the other end. Still fixed, still signed. Not quite as nice as the hardware here found on the single pass there, but still very nice, milled, well finished, beautifully signed there. Everything looks good. And one of the nice things is, although you're getting that extra material here, you can see this material is a little bit thinner, more pliable. So it actually really fills the lug gap there, which is, I think, really, really cool. So of course you do have to worry a bit about clearance, but as long as it clears, you're going to be getting that nice full, and these aren't using curved spring bars or anything. That's actually just kind of the excess material really filling the space. So I think that looks really wonderful. Glycine Airman 18, just a real old school classic here. 200 meters of water resistance, kind of do it all watch. So very, very nice pairing there. And then you do have some other variations. You have this really cool British Racing Green colorway. This would be great on those drivers' watches. And then here you have another blue colorway as well, that's going to be just tapping into a bit of a different kind of tonality there, a little bit more gray, a little bit more sedate, versus here definitely more in the blue. So there's tons of different patterns, weaves, and even hardware color choices that you can have for these ones. So really nice. And then we have this really different Paratac for $26. Really cool here. It definitely combines a couple of different styles. You got the Marine National style going on, but it's kind of combining hook and loop Velcro elements with leather reinforced elastic materials. So you are going to lose a bit of that elastic stretch because of the because of that Velcro, but you are going to get the elastic still here at the quick release spring bar, as well as where this hardware meets here, which is a steel that's been coated black. Same here, so you're going to get a little bit of stretch. And this is actually the thin blue line colorway. And you can get this also in a blue colorway, but this one's really cool. I dig this. 22 millimeters only. So unfortunately, for those of you maybe that are more fond of the 20 millimeter lug widths, you're not going to necessarily have something for this, but I think this would look great on, of course, with the British tie-in. It'd be cool to see these on, a full-sized, maybe a Christopher Ward C60 or something like that. As long as it has the more vibrant blue colorways, I think that would be really nice. And then, hey, last but not least, check it out. Here featured on the smaller Murph 38 is going to be this really nice hybrid strap, guys. $78, the most expensive one here, but I will say hybrid straps are such a cool market right now, and there's some really expensive ones. And this one is actually not super expensive, but man, does it still feel premium. Check out that hardware. You're getting that dual finish. Let me just give it a quick little wipe here. Hey, actually, I can give it a wipe with what actually comes with each one of these types of purchases is that you get this great big old cloth, which you can lay out and use as kind of a work mat if you need to. So we'll get that in the shot. And check this out. There we go. Just beautiful, guys, and very nice. You do have two floating keepers here. You're going to get this, of course, it's a hybrid, so it's going to have different types of materials. Let's give it a quick little dust off here. All right, so on the top, you're going to have a composite nylon upper and then a fluorine rubber lower. So this is going to be extremely comfortable, guys. Really digging this. And you can see it does have a nice patterning on the underneath to help with ventilation and everything like that, so things don't get sticky and kind of gross as you sweat. But I'm digging this. Available in 20 and 22 millimeter lug widths in black or white, and then you can also choose to get a silver or black pin buckle, so check that out. So there's also the black option, which is really cool and really well done. Check that out. The coating on there is beautiful. You can still see the two-tone finish. So this definitely looks more like a DLC coat versus maybe, a thicker type of PVD. So very nice. And then, you do get the contrasting kind of Stormtrooper style there with the white and the black. So this is going to go with, of course, it's going to go with a lot of fun different watches here. But for me, this one paired really, really well, especially with this slightly, warm texturing, coloring on the dial there with that patina look. And then, the white stitching here has a slight warm tint that really picks up really well. And yeah, man, this thing is sweet. So, and also very, very comfortable. So with that, we can cut away now to a couple of different shots on the wrist. All right, guys, check that out. Very, very nice. We'll even bring this in a bit just so we can get a more detailed look without getting that additional lens distortion from bringing my wrist right up to the lens. And this thing wears very comfortably, very handsome. And again, although expensive compared to the rest of these straps, still very, very affordable when you compare it to some of its contemporary options that are out there, whether they be more niche or more mainstream. These hybrid straps are definitely finding a place within the community just because they're really great. They're sporty, and with this high quality, they can actually be quite dressy and feel very composed as well. But let's go ahead and try on the next strap. All right, another two-piece layout. Check it out. The tones of blue really playing off of each other well without being too matchy. It looks good, feels good. Yeah, I'm digging that. What do you guys think? Look at how flat everything lays. Of course, you get that nice little extra bit of fabric, which can be an issue in terms of clearance, but when it's not, the nice thing is that it does help fill those lugs much nicer there. And for a more kind of complete and composed look, I'm really digging it. And the texturing there just adds a little bit of flair, makes it feel a little bit more expensive, a little bit more premium, except the pricing isn't that much more expensive or premium at just $28. So very, very cool. Let's see what's next. All right, me and my larger wrists are really loving this, especially since, again, everything can tuck away nicely thanks to that floating keeper. So very cool, and a very unique piece within Longines reissue line. These have long been discontinued, but it's one that'll probably stay within the collection just for the colorway. I love this with the ivory, with the red, the blue. It just comes together really nicely. And on this strap, again, it is just very, very versatile, which I can absolutely appreciate. Very cool, guys. Look at the sheen there on the material. Nice. It definitely feels quite premium. Again, without too much of a premium markup. Of course, we had to close it out with the Seiko. Check that out, guys. Nice and thin. Lays so flat on the wrist. Some of you that own this watch that might have tried it with the other strap, rejoice. Look at that clearance. Really, really nice. And again, everything ties together. You have that nice touch of extra texturing there, which just adds a beautiful detail that ties into the dial. I'm digging this, guys. This is just beautiful. What do you guys think? Definitely a big fan here of everything that I've seen under the cuff. I'm really excited to see what else they come out with. Again, some of the standouts, the ribbed Nato, really, really awesome. And of course, I think mainstream, we all do love a nice tight weave seatbelt. Like this also really stood out. The hybrid strap for under $100, but feels very, very nice. Did I even put this on the wrist, guys? I like it so much. I might have to put it back on the wrist if I forgot. So, no, I think I did put it on the wrist. It looks great. But check that out, man. It looks good. I'm digging this. This really is a standout. And this watch with a 20mm lug width can be it has the potential to be a real strap monster, but finding something that really ties into the aesthetic, that helps elevate it in a way, I think is something that is hard to find. And you really find that here from the hardware, the construction, everything. Really, really nice, guys. So closing thoughts for me, another huge thank you to Under the Cuff for so bravely sending in their straps, without any types of guidance or wishes or hopes. Just, hey, let me try them out. Let me see what I think. And then, of course, sharing my own thoughts. So that's awesome of them. And hopefully you guys have enjoyed these couple of minutes. So for me, again, it's real standouts in terms of both the quality and the design. So combining that with a reasonable pricing for me is just definitely a recipe for success in my book. So as impressed as I am with the current batch of straps, guys, I'm equally excited to see what they come up with next. I would love to see them expand on a couple of these standout lines like the hybrid, just to get some other colorway options, maybe different stitch options for the black, a blue, a gray. Let's really do it all, because these are so cool. Again, yeah, you guys know me and NATO straps. It's tough to find one that will fit my wrist well, and I think you definitely get that here. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If you like the video, please do a like, and if you haven't already, please subscribe for more content just like this. Thanks, guys. I forgot to put the Airman back in. Let's take another look for those of you that were fans of the Airman. There, hey, whoa, why didn't I get thrown back out on the table? Here it is. Looks awesome. Thanks, guys.